the Rambler Network.
Hello, welcome to Casablanca. This is the 100th episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see my really good friend Summer is back.
Hello.
Yes, because and you're also probably wondering why my screen is green and hers is kind of pink. So mine was by choice, hers is just because that's who she is. Uh, but it works because this episode we're covering The Wizard of Oz, Wicked, and Wicked for Good. I guess in this example,
Yay!
you're Galinda and I'm Alphaba.
I certainly have been changed for the better. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. And you know how much Wicked means to me, and it has meant to me for so, so long. So I'm really excited to dive in.
That's why when I decided to do this episode, you're the first person I thought of to contact.
Thank you so much. And I don't know if you noticed, but I tried to do little like Dorothy braids. It was kind of the best I could do on short notice, but it's something.
I mean, it was 3 months. It wasn't really short notice.
I mean, this
I
morning.
know, I know. I did notice the braids, but like your hair's different every time I see it, so I didn't make the Dorothy connection.
That's true. I
Honestly,
recently had somebody tell me that I have a lot of different looks, and I was like, yeah, it's true. I kind of don't look the same in two pictures.
so yeah, I was while I was waiting for your thing to pop up, I was like, I wonder what her hair's gonna look like today.
Surprise.
Surprise, mother. And so, I don't know how we didn't even we never discussed how we were gonna do this. So I was like, let's do this. Yes. So,
Let's dive in.
what's your history with the Wizard of Oz?
Okay, so like many, many people, I saw The Wizard of Oz at a very young age. I fell in love with it. I loved the colors and the music and the story. Um, and it's always like been a staple in my life. I come from a theatrical parentage, and my mom has always been in theater, so definitely a staple in the household. However, when I became exposed to Wicked at the age of 13, I developed the hyperfixation to end all hyperfixations. And it was like a whole new world. So I had done my first musical, Godspell, a few months prior, and Stephen Schwartz wrote the music for Godspell, and I fell in love with his music and his talent. And then learning about Wicked, it was suddenly like a door opened, and somebody said, "This is what you've been waiting for all these years," and I was like, "Yes!" And so I made it my mission to learn everything I possibly could about Wicked. I knew who was the standby for Elphaba in the second national tour in 2010, like that sort of thing. So I got really, really hyper fixated on it. And then there were rumors of the Wicked movie happening in 2012. And I was so depressed. I was devastated because I was like, well, I'm too young. Like, they're not going to cast me as Glinda. And all I wanted in the entire world was to play Glinda. And now, all these years later, when they had announced they were doing a Wicked movie, I was like, yes, I'm old enough to be in it. And then, I guess they went with Ariana Grande. Super weird. But that's kind of where I'm at. I'm still enjoying everything about it. I have my criticisms, but I'll try to keep them to a minimum.
Well, that's what we were here to talk about then. So
Let's do it.
like you said, I watched The Wizard of Oz as a kid. But the version I watched growing up until recently was on well, I was gonna say until recently. I only watched Wizard of Oz for like 10 years up when I was a kid because we had it on a VHS tape recorded off of TV. And so up until let's say mid 2000s when the tape stopped working, it that's the only way I watched it. And then I watched it on DVD. You
I
okay?
muted myself,
I was
sorry.
gonna say like that was a very silent sneeze. Um, yeah, mid 2000s, I checked it out at the library on DVD, and I was like, oh, this is much better than the VHS one. Apparently, the TV version cut scenes, and and so finally watched the full thing like 10 years ago, and then a couple months ago, or like September-ish, I bought the 85th anniversary 4K Blu-ray and it's like the coolest collector's thing I've ever owned. It comes with all this like extra stuff, and like one of my favorite things is all these like cards and stuff. One of my favorites is
What? That is a whoa, that is amazing. Oh, I
it's
love it.
as soon as I saw this, I got excited too. I'm like, I thought it was an original, but it's copyrighted Warner Brothers on the back, so it's
Hey, it's okay. Nobody else needs
reprint.
to know except us and everybody watching.
Yes, all five of them.
Listen, that's all we need.
Hey, at this point, this is just the two of us talking. I don't care if no one watches this, it's still fun.
It
Um,
sure is.
but here's the thing. I've had steelbook things before and they weren't actually they weren't like actual steel, it was just like hard. And so I was curious and this one actually you can't yeah.
Oh, oh my goodness.
I can't turn it the right way.
Wait. I love this for you.
I'm like really excited.
Yeah, new stim unlocked.
Yeah, but really though. So I always loved Wizard of Oz. I actually have you read the book Wicked?
Yes. So I read it when I was 13, and when I,
Oh, I thought
probably
you
should
meant you
not.
I thought
Yeah.
you meant you found the musical at 13.
Yeah. So as soon as I found the musical and realized it was based on a book, I was like, well, I have to read the book. And like, this is gonna sound so insane. This is gonna sound so insane, but at the time, my dad's mom was dying, and I didn't realize this. I was still young, and I think I didn't realize the severity of the situation. But like, I remember sitting in the hospital room with her, and it was probably the last time I saw her. I was like glued to this book, and I had no idea what was going on. Um, and it's weird because like I remember leaving there and being like, okay, that was the last time I saw her. And I'm also reading this really weird, like dark, mature book that nobody should have been letting me read at the time, but like also who knew? So I didn't love it back then. There were certain parts that I was like, ooh, awesome. When we had Elphaba and Galinda together, and then like the little Bach and his like puppy love type of thing. And then it got into some really weird territory, and I was like, okay, this is
Yeah,
not it.
the second half of the book is very different from the musical version. That's one of the
Yeah.
few things that like, and it's like a lot of people hated that they changed to the first half, but the second half they're like, okay, yeah, we're good. The musical version is better on that one. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Very much deviated.
It's really crazy. And it was like exploring themes that, I could not even conceptualize as a kid. So I did try to start reading the Wicked book again last year. And I got to maybe chapter 2, and I was like, this thing is so weird. And I have
Yeah.
not gone back to it.
I started reading it around the same time you did, like when I was 13. I read Stephen King's It when I was like 12. So
Oh,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, and that one's brutal.
Yeah,
That
I bet.
and so like growing up I was told Stephen King is you shouldn't read Stephen King. Very first Stephen King book I ever read was Misery, which is very tame. And I was like
I love Misery.
I was like this isn't that bad. And then I saw it. I'm like, "Oh, this is a long book." Okay. And then I read it and it was like very brutal child deaths and then that
Yeah.
infamous scene at the end. I'm like, I should not be reading this. And
Yeah.
then the next year I read.
Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
Funny enough, it was her book. She let me read it.
That's so funny. Yeah,
So
I don't know what it was about like the 2010s or so, but my best friend from childhood, Liz, she was given Interview with a Vampire like
oh
by
no.
her dad. And he was like, "Here, I think you would like this. It's about vampires." And he obviously had not read it, but she was like, "Okay." And
Like the movie,
it's
the
just
movie really toned down the book.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, I grew up with that one. I thought the
Oh,
same thing. I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. I know Anne Rice wrote it. I think it's the third book. And then so like they made the movies kind of out of order. I think there's three movies, but they made them. They're not even connected. They're just kind of like
oh.
standalone movies. They Queen of the Damned, Interview with the Vampire, and then I think they made a Lestat movie, but it was like a Hammer film or something. That's like
Oh,
the first three books, I think. I'm not, I've never really been into the Vampire Chronicles, so like my sister
yeah.
was. All I know, it's like secondhand knowledge from her.
Yes,
But
yes, I'm the same way. But did you know that there's a Lestat musical?
that does not surprise me.
Yeah, and you know who did the music for it?
Steven Schwartz.
I wish. I don't think I'm making this up. Elton John?
What?
I know.
My second guess was going to be Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh, no, no, but
Rogers and Hammerstein.
yeah, imagine. That's so funny. I will have to fact check myself, but I'm pretty sure it's called Lestat. It's Interview with a Vampire, and the music is Elton John, and it is fantastic.
Anyway, so the year after I read Wicked because I'm thinking Wizard of Oz. And then like I, it did start out weird, like that first like 50 to 100 pages was all politics and
Yes.
then she's born and then I was like okay now she's born and then I was getting into it. I was like okay, this is kind of dark, it's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And the moment I stopped reading it was really like way into the book. It's when she's basically sleeping with Fiyero, I think, and it's like describing her pubic hair, and I'm like, I'm gonna stop reading here.
Right. Oh my gosh. Like so much unnecessary detail.
And then I reread it last year. I actually finished it last year, or before the movie came out. And I hadn't seen the musical. I didn't know anything about it. I'd listened to the music for a long time. I knew the
Yeah.
music. I didn't know anything about what they changed. So I listened to the audiobook of the book all the way to completion. And then I watched part one, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is not the same. That
Oh.
was completely useless for me to do that.
That is so funny. Yeah, I mean like it is starkly different and for good reason. And I mean, I have seen people like online say, "Oh, I'm such a diehard fan of the book. I don't really like the musical so much." But I think those people are much fewer and further between.
Yeah, I know more people that say they love the musical or the movie and they went back and read the book and they couldn't finish it.
Exactly. There are a few books that I've read this year that what do they call it? DNF, did not finish.
Ah.
Um, and that is on there along with the Cinnamon Bun Bookshop. Do not
Oh
recommend.
yeah, I think you did a TikTok on that. You were like, you did like a negative review. Like I normally don't do negative reviews, but and then it was a hilarious TikTok you did.
Well, thank you, because I so rarely have anything disparaging to say, but like this book was asking for it.
I know. That's why I was shocked. I'm like, she never says anything bad about books. She loves books.
I know. She loves books. I love books, but not the Wicked book for the most part, and not the Cinnamon Bun Bookshop.
I love the Wicked book for what it represents and what it led to, not for the book
Sure.
itself.
Yes, because without it, we wouldn't have, the Wicked that we know and love today.
Exactly. And speaking of which, everyone talks about all the cameos in Wicked Part 1 and Part 2, like Adine and Kristen and Adine, yeah, Adina? Adine?
Adina.
Adina. I was like, Adine, that doesn't sound right. Uh, so like all of them and like all like the third person to play Fiero and like Stephen Schwartz was the wizard may see you now or something like that and then
Yeah,
like Winnie
yeah.
does the he must be a wizard so like they have cameos all throughout and then even in the second one and something I've been posting online and in the Wicked groups and stuff and everyone's baffled at why I'm saying this there is one cameo they haven't done and I'm curious why they didn't do it. Greg
Wait, let me guess.
Gregory McGuire.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, yes, yes, yes.
Like,
Um, I don't know. I wonder if maybe like he doesn't want to, which would be
well,
weird for him because I feel like he's totally cool with like interviews and stuff.
yeah, he does a lot of interviews, and from like my first thought was maybe he doesn't want like he kind of like washes hands of that. Like he's like George Lucas. George Lucas hates Star Wars now. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He hates it when people ask him about it. In fact,
Real? Why?
there's a because I don't know. I think that's why he sold it to Disney. There's a George Lucas museum that just opened, and there's no Star Wars in it at all. And
What else does he have?
oh, he's got a lot of other stuff. That's why I think that's why he hates it because everyone he's like I've done other things, but everyone's like Star Wars. So like I think I was thinking that was him with Gregory. I thought that was thinking Gregory Maguire was the same thing. But around the time the Wicked Part One came out, he released a prequel to Wicked called Effie. No,
Really?
that's the Hunger Games. Elfie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the story the missed years of her as a kid. So
Wait,
he
I need to look this up. I have my little iPad next to me.
I heard he's also doing one on the backstory of Glinda, but I don't know about that.
Yes. Oh, you're right. Elfie, A Wicked Childhood. I'd
Yeah.
be curious to read like an excerpt, but if it's anything like the Wicked book, I
No.
don't know if I'd be
See,
able to
like,
stomach
there's
it.
also sequels to that. There's like there's a Wicked,
Son of
Son
a
of a Witch,
Witch.
A Lion Among Men, and then like Out of Oz, and
Right.
then and so yeah, like it takes place like this. The fourth one is Alphaba's granddaughter.
Oh my gosh. What
Yeah,
is this timeline?
yeah, so I was thinking that, because like this, like Act One, Act Two, and they're expanding it. It's about the same length, if not longer than the first movie. I thought they're going to add in elements from the book,
Right.
so that because there were talks about expanding the universe and having like additional movies and TV shows. I thought that they were going to include her son and do Son of a Witch, but
Right.
they didn't do that. They had that scene where they were together, but then like right after she dies. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know what they were going to do. They actually
I
did.
think
Go ahead.
I think part of my issue with this, and you're like bringing up a really good point, is that you had 2 hours and 45 minutes in the first film, which is the same length as the entire Broadway show. But I
Longer.
feel like I didn't uncover so much new information about these characters in that first movie. I would have loved to see. Did you see that they just released the deleted scene of them all hanging out and like Fiyero shirtless?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I will send it to you. I just watched it like half an hour ago. But basically, like they cut, I feel like the important parts of seeing those main players really bonding. Um, and I would have loved like an extra scene or two of just getting to know them or like new information, but it didn't
Oh, yeah.
expand my knowledge about them.
Like in the second movie, when it does a kind of a flashback to them going through the poppy field, the famous scene where she leans her head on, it's like that does a flashback where it's all of them. I'm like, when did that happen?
Exactly, exactly. So that's like one of my issues with it, but I don't
Well,
know. I mean, I really like I just wanted more because they talked about expanding it and I'm like, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes. And then I feel like all they really did was make songs longer, you
yeah. They
know?
made the story. They stretched out what was there, but they didn't really add anything.
Right, right. Like I know we got, I guess, that scene with Dr. Dillamond and the other animals. Like, okay, sure, that's cool, but he's probably the last person that I really wanted to see more of, you know? Like
Yeah.
also, I have a little, it's a mini beef. I would have loved to see a human actor, Peter Dinklage or whoever, in goat prosthetics. Like, I would have loved to see not a CGI animal, but like human made to look like
Like
an
the stage
animal.
one. Meeting will
Yeah,
end in 10 minutes. We'll just restart it.
perfect.
Yeah. So I that's what a lot of people were saying about the first one. They basically just expanded on what was there. And so we were all thinking, oh, in the second one they are going to add the extra elements, but because there's not a lot in the second act. But what they did was just like the first one, expand what was already there. It's like
Right.
that's okay. So like obviously you and I we love part one. I watched it 5 times in theaters.
Me too.
It was the most I've ever seen a movie in theaters, and so like it was my number one movie of 2025, obviously. And then this one, like I I liked it, but like I told you, Wicked Part One, 10 out of 10. Wicked Part Two, 9 out of 10. I
Yeah,
liked like
yeah.
I only watched it the one time.
Me too. I didn't feel the urge to go back to the theater. But I think there was also so much of like a build up around the first one, and then by the time the second one came around, it was just less exciting and less of an event, I would say.
Yeah.
Because like I know this year when I went to go see Wicked for Good, I didn't like dress up the way I did last year. I feel like there was a little bit less hype, not with brands. I will say like I feel like they were doing brand deals with every single product under the sun, and I think that annoyed me a little bit subconsciously.
Yeah. You're like last year, like I was, 'cause like I said, I've known about the musical. I listened to the soundtrack all the time, like up until now, and so like I knew about. I was gonna go watch it anyway. I'm like, oh yeah, that wasn't an anticipated movie or anything. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's just another movie that's coming out later. I'm gonna go see it, and then I saw it, and suddenly Wicked for Good was my most anticipated movie of the year, and I think all of us hyped it up in our head and then there's no way it could have lived up to that hype.
Right. And do you think that that had something to do with like the fact that it was a full year after the first release?
Yeah, like okay, so like the gap between Infinity War and Endgame, it wasn't even a full year. I think like Endgame, and I think I could be wrong about this. I think uh, I think Infinity War came out in like November, and then Endgame came out in like May. So like
Oh, okay,
it
yeah.
wasn't a full year. So like it may have been a year. It didn't feel like a year.
Yeah, if it felt like less time, but I remember like walking out of the theater last year and everybody being like, I can't believe I have to wait another year.
Yeah, like
What?
if it came out in like May or something, it wouldn't have been so bad.
Yes, yes. It could have been like the movie of the summer too.
Exactly. And then like I didn't see anybody. In fact, after the first one, everybody praised it. It's nothing but praise. The second one, I heard nothing but complaints, and that's why like
Yeah. Yeah, starting
you're
with like the pacing, there was a lot like I don't think the first one was perfect, mind you. Like I loved it. I had no notes that first time, and then after watching a few more times I was like, okay, I would have changed this, this and that, but I still enjoyed it so much that it
yeah.
didn't matter.
So crap, what was I gonna say?
Take your time.
I don't remember. Uh,
That's okay. I mean, I just like I felt like I had notes for both movies, but I still enjoyed them. The second one was
yeah.
still really enjoyable to me. It's
Oh,
just that I would have done it differently. What can I say?
I remember what I was gonna say. So, because everyone was complaining online, that's why you're one of the few people I told my actual thoughts on it. Because online, if it wasn't, you either absolutely loved it or you hated it with a red hot fiery passion.
Yeah.
And so, like that's why I said, like with me, it was like Wicked 10 out of 10, for Good 9 out of 10. But to everybody, it's either extreme or extreme. And yeah,
Yes. And that's with everything. Like, it's exhausting.
I
Like
know.
you can like something middle of the road.
Yeah, like and so like I watched like I said like I told you earlier I watched Avatar Fire and Ash yesterday in IMAX 3D and everyone's like is it good? I'm like yeah, it's good. Like oh, so it's not great. It's not like it doesn't top the other. It was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It doesn't have to be better than uh,
Yeah.
it's like I can't even rank them. Like each one's their own thing. Plus like I don't know if you saw Way of Water. Apparently James Cam
No.
Oh yeah, that's the second one. Apparently James Cameron wanted Way of Water to be a lot longer, so Fire and Ash is technically Way of Water Part Two. So a lot of people were complaining that it felt too similar, but the reason is because it was too. It's like Kill Bill Volume One and Two. It's still considered Quentin Tarantino's fourth film because it was one. That's why they re-released it this year as the whole bloody affair. It was one long movie. Avatar 2 and 3 is one long movie.
Oh.
People are complaining that it felt too similar. Well, Avatar 4 is going to be there's going to be a time jump. This one took place literally starts right where the second one ended. Fourth one's going to have a time jump, and it's going to be a
Wait,
whole
when
new
did Way
story.
of Water come out? Do you know?
I think 2023.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that long ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I have not seen the Avatar movies. If I'm honest, I like have a working knowledge of them, but I'm so confused as to like I think Avatar is like the highest one of the highest grossing films ever or
Yeah.
something.
It
Wow.
okay, so So it goes in-game and Avatar, and like every time they re-release them, like China will occasionally re-release one or the other, and so they're constantly going like this.
Oh, that's funny.
And
Okay.
then so like if Avatar gets on top, Marvel's like, hey, let's do an in-game weekend. Well, what's crazy
Oh
is
my
Way of
God.
Water also reached the top 10. And then so like uh think about it. You got Titanic, Avatar, Avatar 2 in the top 10, and those
Yeah.
are all three James Cameron movies. And if all five Avatar movies, because he's planning five movies, he said, because he started mapping it out in the 80s. It took 20 years for him to start making it. So this has been planned out for like 30 years. And
Oh
so
my
when
goodness.
he's done with Avatar 5, imagine the six of the top 10 movies of all time are James Cameron movies.
Shut up. Oh, I have chills right now because what? That is, yeah. Okay. I wonder if James Cameron needs an adoptive daughter. I wonder if he's in the market for one of those.
So, we got 3 minutes left of this. I'm thinking of just stopping it and then coming back in and starting
Let's
another
do it.
one
Let's do it.
because we got more to talk about.
Yes.
We're back. Okay, so like I told you during the intermission, I want to discuss fan theories. Do you have any fan theories?
I found that so interesting when you said that because I wasn't super aware that there were theories. I feel like people talk about plot holes in Wicked a lot, but I don't really see them. Why don't you start us off and I can like jump in?
Well, so like the Super Carlin brothers say, I don't believe in plot holes. I believe in instead there are theory fodder, or however they word that.
I like that.
So like they focus a lot on like Pixar and Harry Potter, and a lot of times people will say, "Oh, there's a plot hole in Harry Potter," and they say, "Actually, that's that we have a theory about that," and they have so many videos talking about theories, and so I have a theory. A lot of
Okay.
people talk about my big theory that I was telling you about. I said I have one that I love. And I deliberately haven't told you this because otherwise, if we weren't going to do this, I was going to send you a wall of text
Oh
explaining
my
it.
gosh, I can't wait. I'm so
So,
excited to hear this.
okay. So a lot of people were complaining about in the Wizard of Oz that this happens and that happens, but it doesn't happen in Wicked. Like, in this movie, why is it like it is reversed now?
It looks right to me.
Oh, it's reversed for me. Anyway, so wait, is this one just is now it's reversed for me? What the heck?
It's not reversed for me.
Did I do something? No, wait, hang on. Let me look at video. It is auto frame my video, adjust background. Okay, that's gonna bother me. Uh, anyway, so a lot of people were complaining that what is it? This like, okay, in this movie. The Scarecrow and the Wizard and the Wicked Witch are not dating. There's no connection. There's no hint that they're in love or anything. And like and there is like a bunch of other things like the fact that she lives in the movie and the play and I should have wrote all this down. There was a long list of things people were complaining about. And my fan theory is if this were to really happen, the general public doesn't know all of this.
Right.
They don't know that the Scarecrow and they don't know the Scarecrow is Fiero and that it's Alphaba and him are in love, and then she survived and they ran off together. So my theory is that this movie is actually a propaganda film in the Wicked universe.
I
And
have chills.
when I rewatched this like a month ago and then I rewatched Wicked and then I watched the Wicked for Good. I watched them like back to back the same day. And yeah, it makes total sense. Like if you watch this with that mindset, it makes sense.
I have full body chills. That is a really good theory. Oh my God. Super Carlin Bros who? Wow. I mean, yeah, no, it does make sense. And like I don't know. I guess yeah, if you're gonna find plot holes if you're pairing it up like scene by scene by scene. But no, what you said makes perfect sense to me, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, like if it was if they were saying like, oh, this takes place at the same time this happens,
Right,
then yeah, it's like this scene doesn't matter. Like this doesn't even look the same as that. Like Munchkinland doesn't look the same.
right.
The Witch's Castle looks nothing like it does in here. But yeah, like it's a propaganda film.
That is so funny. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, so I obviously have not heard that before. That's great. And then I can't think of like other actual fan theories because I feel like the film and the play do like a pretty solid job of. Do I have something on my face? No, okay. A pretty solid job of like tying things up at the end, even if it's not quote unquote the ending you want. Like I think it still pretty much makes sense.
It was obvious that a lot of people didn't know the musical ending
Yes.
when, on my screening because I had a very active audience. They would like cheer and they would applaud and laugh. And then whenever Fiala came back and he knocked on the floor and opened it up, a lot of people went, "What?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah,
Really?
yeah," because like a lot of people in my audience were not happy about that.
What did they want him to die and her to die?
I don't know because like they were like really responsive up until then. They were like I heard like the girl next to me, just some random girl sitting next to me. She just goes, "What?" And then I heard a lot of people groaning, and I'm like, "It's a good ending."
Yeah, you want them to live. That is so silly. Okay. Interesting. So to pivot a little bit, but like still in that same vein, I cannot tell you what I would give to be at like one of the premieres of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince with an audience full of people who have not read the book and to just hear their reaction in real time to I'm the Half-Blood
I was
Prince.
there.
Stop. What was it like?
There was gasps.
Yeah. Because that, like, the thought of that gives me chills. So you would think that it would be something more along those lines of like shock and awe, excitement, surprise. But like, if they were annoyed, I'm like, come on.
Honestly, I think the biggest reaction I've ever seen in a theater, an audience reaction, was when Andrew Garfield stepped out of the portal, Far From Home.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh,
Th-
oh, oh, oh.
there was a lot of people. There was a lot of speculation that Toby and Andrew was going to be in it, but they kept going, "Oh no, 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 we're not in it. We're not in it. No, we're no." But
Really?
then like there's that scene when the portal opens and Andrew Garfield walks out. That's the loudest. I literally went like that. Like theaters are meant to be loud. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot of loud screenings. I literally went like that because they were screaming so loud. It surprised me how loud they were, and that was louder. Okay, the loudest thing I've ever experienced in a theater from the movie was in Oppenheimer.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
You know what scene I'm talking about. But what's funny is that it's kind of a jump scare, even though you see it happening, because they do it. Because I thought when the bomb goes off, it's going to be loud, so I was kind of bracing for it. But they
Yeah.
did it kind of realistic, where the bomb goes off. I think it was like 5 miles away or something like that, 10 miles away. So you see the bomb go off, but it's silent. And I'm thinking, oh, they're doing an artistic thing where it's silent, and then it just like pans over them, and then it pans over him, and then he does like a voiceover, and then the way it hits them, and it's the loudest thing I've ever experienced in theaters, and everybody went like that. I had a packed IMAX screening, and everybody jumped.
Oh my God. Wow, 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 wow. Did you do Barbenheimer?
I did.
Yeah.
I watched Barbie, then I watched Oppenheimer.
I love it. I love it. Wow. Okay. I mean, I guess not to get dark, but like we should be grateful that that's the loudest thing you've ever heard in a theater. I tried to go see Eternity recently with some friends, and we got evacuated before the movie even started.
What
So
happened?
like sirens, but not sirens, but like alarms blaring, and I was just like, come on. whatever happened to just enjoying a movie? But okay, interesting, interesting. So, sorry, my brain is in like four different places right now. Um, I think for me, seeing Wicked Part 1, when Adina and Kristen came out, that's when I lost my mind.
My audience cheered.
Yes, yes, for sure. Did you go see it like the day it premiered?
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
I tried to see movies the day they come out to avoid spoilers.
Yeah, that's smart. That's a good policy. There are a few that I have not been able to go see yet. Like I really want to see FNAF 2,
I
but
saw
I
that
don't think
opening
I'm
day.
gonna. Thoughts?
I liked it better than the first one. Okay, so the first one, they were trying to play it safe because they knew not everybody knew the lore. When the
Yeah.
second one, they're like, okay, if anyone's coming from the first movie, they're fans, so they leaned more into the lore.
Okay, great, great. I'm looking forward to that then, because I was
Yeah.
supposed to go see it like last week or something, and then just didn't pan out.
Well, the
But
funny thing is, I've only played the first game. I only know the lore because of Matt Pat.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I know a lot of the lore from TikTok because I got really into it in like 2021, I want to say, like when songs were popping off on TikTok and like oh my God, what's their name? They do the music. It's been so long. Da 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 da. Living Tombstone.
Oh, like I don't know who that is.
They've done a lot of like FNAF music.
They do the music in the movie too.
They do this the Five Nights at Freddy's song when they're like Five Nights at Freddy's. Is
Uh,
that where you wanna be? Yeah.
Oh, getting back to Wicked real quick, there is one more fan theory. This one's not mine. I saw this online and I thought it was really good because I was wondering this too. I thought the desert surrounding the land of Oz, if you step on the desert, you die, you turn into sand. And that's because like that's in Return to Oz, that's in some of the Oz books. And so there was a fan theory that that's what the wizard told everyone so they wouldn't leave.
Shut up.
Because like
Yes, yes, I believe that.
when at the end when it shows Fiero and Elphaba walking across the desert leaving Oz, I'm like, shouldn't they be dead?
Yeah. Well, but then that also begs the question to me of like, where are they going? How are they going to survive? What is there? Isn't it just nothingness?
Well, apparently, from what I read, like apparently in one of the later Wicked books, there's because I never read any of them. I'm just going by hearsay, basically. Um, is that there's Oz is it's basically like how Australia is this lone island in a vast ocean.
Yeah.
Oz is basically this lone island in a vast desert, and there's like a whole other world.
Oh my God. Well, okay, yes, I guess that makes sense. Wait, so okay. Sorry. So now I'm wondering, okay, so Dorothy gets to Oz in a tornado. Is Oz another dimension or
Well, in the original Baum books, Oz was just a land in on planet Earth.
right, okay, okay.
But I think like we're so used to this, where this makes it seem like a fantasy world or a dream world or something. Um, I don't because I read the book, the original Wonderful Wizard of Oz. It's very different. Like a lot of people don't like it because it's so different. This basically cemented everyone. It's like how when people think of Wicked, they think of the musical and the movie, and they go back and read the book. Like I don't like this. A lot of people don't like the original Baum book because it's so different. Like the Witch of the West is like so prominent. She's featured on the 85th anniversary cover, but she's like a minor villain in the book. In fact, she dies halfway through, and they continue on their adventure.
No way.
Yeah. Like
Wait,
it's
so what's the point then in the book? What are they trying to do?
I don't remember. It's been a while. But I don't think the dream element. I think that's exclusive to this.
Wow, I
So,
have
because yeah,
chills.
because like I said, there are. I think there's like 30 something books in the Oz books. I think Baum didn't write all of them. Like he died and someone else carried on. But like the Baum books, I think there's like 12 or 15 or something. I haven't read all of them,
Right, right.
but
I remember
like
hearing
he
that.
basically established that it's an actual country on planet Earth.
How do you feel about that?
I'd rather it be its own separate thing.
Yeah.
It's
Because
like a
like you
dimension.
can't tell me that I can take a plane to Oz from LA. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Or
and also,
well, you were just mentioning Barbenheimer. Well, in order to get to Barbie Land, you have to go through all these different things. You can't just fly there. So maybe
that's
Oz is the same thing.
I feel like that makes the most sense actually. Yes. And I could totally get behind that. That like our world is obviously accessible from Barbie Land, but you have to make a journey.
Yeah, and that makes sense because like Dorothy doesn't just get there; she gets there by tornado by accident.
Right. Yeah, I need to get into like the logistics of all of this. I need like a travel itinerary
I don't
from
know if
LA to.
I don't know if Baum explained it in the later books. Like that would be interesting if one of the later books takes place in like it's like the Scarecrow finds himself in Manhattan or something.
Right. Well, think about, for instance, it's comparative a lot, especially because they're like little girls dressed in blue, but like Alice in Wonderland. Um, so she falls down a rabbit hole. And is Wonderland just underground? Because it really seems to be a whole other dimension.
It does seem like a dimension. Um, my theory on that, at least from the Disney version, because I never read the book, is that she felt like, well, the Disney version makes it seem like it is a whole other dimension. But like my thought is, like the other versions of it, is that like she fell and like hit her head and she was in like a coma or something.
Ooh, spooky. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
Later,
jog my memory. Did Dorothy dream the tornado?
in this version.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I just realized like not everyone's gonna watch the video, so like you know what? I'm gonna keep it vague for the audio version. So it's like what am I talking about? What is this? I keep saying what is this?
What is this?
What is this? Y'all find out. Watch it on YouTube.
Yes, yes. No, I like having the visual. It helps me at
Yeah.
least.
Yes. All the episodes where I have guests on, like you, I push the YouTube version. Every
Yeah.
other version I push the audio version, but this one I'm gonna push the YouTube link.
Well, you love a video version because I remember even doing the podcast, like you're more like, oh, I'd rather wait for the video to go up and watch along and
Yeah,
like see reactions.
exactly. I'd rather see you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I find it so difficult, to maintain watching something these days. And I know a lot of people are like that, but I'm like, oh, I have my iPad and I have my little other device and it's so hard.
Yeah. Um, I actually had an issue yesterday with technology and screens because I said I went and saw Avatar, something I haven't really told a whole lot of people. Oh no, I think I did tell you with the Avatar. I think that was off camera before we started recording. I told you about when I went to see Avatar. It was in IMAX 3D. IMAX 3D kind of no AMC 3D kind of sucks. I love AMC. I'm subscribed to A-list. You can see up to 4 movies a
Yeah.
week for free. And so like that's what I use. I love AMC. That's the only theater I'll go to. But
Same.
there I love that. I hate their 3D because they have like those mechanical glasses and what it does they flicker back and forth really quick in sync with the movie. And when it works, it's the most immersive 3D experience and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But more often than not, it doesn't and it's out of sync. And so the movie I watched Avatar. I was able to watch it and follow along, but the movie was basically strobing. And I left. I was going to watch 4 movies yesterday. I know I told you this earlier, but I'm repeating it for the audience because we're recording now. I started the day watching David, and at 10, and then at 1:30 I watched Avatar, and I had scheduled around 5 to watch. No, it was like 5:45 because Avatar ended like at 5 something. At 5:45 I was gonna watch Anaconda, and then around
Mhm.
8 o'clock I was gonna watch The Housemaid, but when I left Avatar, I left with a migraine, and I ended up coming home, and I was in so much pain. I usually am up till like midnight, 1 in the morning, but I went to sleep. I actually took a picture right before I went to sleep. I wanted because like I actually turned my TV off. I always leave my TV on and I have like Google featured photo screensaver, and
Oh
I let
yeah.
that play. but I even turned that off, and I took a picture because like I have my Switch Joy-Con dock over there, and it like cycles through colors, and so I kept that on, and I waited for it to turn blue, and I took a picture, and then I went to sleep. I turned my phone face down with the volume off, and that was at 9:30.
Oh my
I
gosh.
took that picture at 9:30, and I woke up at like 5:30 this morning, and I'm like, yeah, why did I wake up so early? Because I went to sleep early.
Yeah, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that is oof. That's a tough one because then you get like just enough sleep to be wired at 5:30 and you're like, okay, I gotta be up,
I
but
mean, I
oh,
was thinking the alternative it had because like I knew we were gonna do this at noon, and like my fear was because I know like our schedule does not ever sync up. That's why
yeah.
when I want to do an episode with you, I tell you like 6 months in advance, and luckily we it finally synced up today because it's
Yeah.
going live tomorrow, and so it's
I
like
can't wait to see it.
kind of cutting it close because like the last time. We recorded like 2 months before it went live, and then I think like it was kind of funny because like I went to go watch it the day it went live. I'm like, that was so long ago.
Yeah. Yes, but you know what the good thing is like with doing it this way, at least we have so much ground to cover because I didn't know about like the fan theories and all. I've like touched on the Wicked Reddit, and I'm always curious to see like what people are saying about Ariana and Cynthia in particular. I'm like, okay, what's the tea? What are we gossiping about today? But I like that we have so much material that we can discuss.
Yeah. And speaking of, I can't believe we haven't even touched on them yet.
I
Um,
know.
Ari and Cynthia, like I love that they're not just actors playing a role; they actually bonded in real life. Especially like that moment that went viral where that guy like ran at Ari, and then
That was
Cynthia like
insane.
yeah, and like Cynthia like full on like defended her, like got in front of her, and I was like, she's Alphaba in real life.
Yes, and I was surprised with like how many people took issue with that moment. And
Yeah.
I was like, I would do the same thing. Like anybody would do the same thing. It just so happened that this guy was going after Ariana, but I think if he was going after Cynthia, then Ariana would have stepped in too. I would
Yeah.
think.
I don't, yeah, people are weird.
Yeah, people will find any excuse to be like annoyed or upset or offended, but I was like, that's just a friend defending another friend.
Yeah, so like also I'm not surprised they got close because like the roles they were playing, but they were working on that movie for years. I didn't realize how long they were working on it until I one of the behind the scenes thing because I bought the like the deluxe premium version on Peacock or whatever whenever it became available. Not Peacock, Amazon Prime.
Hmm.
Came with all the behind the scenes special features, and one of them showed Michelle Yeoh. They apparently they were using the Ozdust room like there to do celebrations and stuff, and
Oh, yes.
she won an Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and they were celebrating that win in the Ozdust, and I'm like, that's how long they were filming this. That movie came
Yeah.
out in 2002, 22.
That
I
that
think.
actually does like mess with my head because if you think about it, they were filming when COVID was still like very actively a concern and still a constant topic. Like we were waking up every day scared of COVID when they were filming.
Yeah, like hang on. It released M- March 25th, 2022.
Oh my God. That's so wild.
And so it's not surprising because like most movies they'll film for like, a month or at the most like 6 weeks, 6 months, and then they'll like go to editing. It'll take them like it could that's how they were able to crank out a Saw movie a year for like 10 years. And then yeah,
Oh,
and there's and but like with this, it's obvious they took the care and attention, they took the time to do it right. And one of my favorite stories is how Steven Schwartz said that he was going to change popular to like make it more poppy for Ariana, but she was like, "No, you will not bring that down to me. I will raise it to its level." And she actually went through and like completely learned a whole new singing style. She like retrained her voice to actually be able to sing operatic. And I saw this thing recently that said that her voice is probably forever changed, like how Austin Butler now talks like Elvis. Like he
Right,
can't
right, right.
before he did the role, and now like he can't. He's like, I can't help it. That's just how I talk. And now because he like restructured his voice pattern to be able to do that, and now he can't stop talking like that.
That
And
is so insane to me. And also, like, not for nothing, but it is the power of the mind. Like, you can convince yourself to do anything. It's
yeah,
really insane. But also, what was going on in Stephen Schwartz's head when he said that? Because what is wrong with you?
yeah. Like why would you bring it that like I love that Ari knew that this role demanded what we got.
Yes.
But like the fact that she even had to speak up like that, it was like, no,
Insane. Is
no,
insane because like uh, it is not broken, don't fix it. And she already did a pop version of Popular in like
with
2012.
Mika.
Yes. So we already have that version. Like
Yeah. And so like example of her voice change, like she hosted SNL last week. And like I know her voice because I'm a huge fan. I watch like everything she's ever been in from Victorious all the way up through like all the Scream Queens and everything. I know what her voice sounds like. And then she when she did the Glinda and the thing, I could tell she was doing a voice. And
yeah, yeah,
she was kind of channeling Kristen Chenoweth in
yeah.
some certain scenes. And like when she hosted SNL last week, she was still sounding like Glinda, even in skits that had nothing to do with Wicked. I'm like, oh, she does it. And then I had read that article about that, and then I watched SNL. I'm like, oh, I see it.
That's so interesting. Yeah, yeah. Because I also had the thought that like during the movie she was kind of a little bit doing Ariana, doing Kristen, doing Glinda. And I get it. I get it for sure. But like that's so bless you. That's so
See,
interesting that
you had the foresight to mute. I don't.
it's okay. I just have like quick cat-like reflexes.
I'm like, where is it? Where is it too late?
I didn't hear it. Yeah, I don't know. I get it because there's so many interpretations of that character and they're all quote unquote correct, but like people love Kristen's version and to have that associated with the way Ariana was doing it, I think is fine.
Yeah, and what she did say was funny thing about Popular. I think the reason that that's the song that it came up on, and it didn't come up with other songs, is because Ari said that scene was the first scene they shot, and you can actually hear it in like the beginning of the song. The only time I hear, literally in the two movies, the only time I hear Ariana is at the beginning of Popular, when I don't even want to try to sing it. But hang on, I don't. Let's see. I'm going to look this up. There, I oh, no, that's for good. Um, it used to be I type W and Wicked soundtrack comes up. Now Wicked for Good is above that, so that's kind of a good thing. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Bum. Da-da-da-dun. Where? Du-du-du-du-du. Where is it? What's okay? What? I'm trying to remember the line. This part.
Exactly
Oh.
what they need.
Yes, you're right. You're a
That's
thousand
the
percent
only
right.
time I hear Ariana.
Yes.
And it makes sense
That
because that's the first thing they recorded. She wasn't quite fully Glinda yet.
yes, yes. And also there's one moment during Thank Goodness when she sounds like it too.
I didn't. I only saw that movie once, so that's
Yeah.
how. It took me a couple of times watching it to catch that. I'm like, wait a second. So like, I might whenever it comes out and I watch them, I might be like, oh, there it is.
Right, right, right. If you hear Thank Goodness again, I think you'll definitely hear it in her singing.
There's now that you
But
said
that's
that, I'm
it.
thinking
That's the only
for
part.
it. Yeah, it's not like I mean, it's like how dare you show yourself in this role?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, it's only across two movies, and it's like maybe like 5 hours total. There's only two instances where we spot the actor and not the character. I mean, that's pretty good. There's a lot of times where it's like Jim Carrey roles. It's like he's playing Doctor Robotnik, but I just see Jim Carrey. Uh,
Right, right, right.
but like she disappeared in that role.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have like endless praise for Wicked and I have other criticisms. I did make a TikTok, I don't know if you saw it, about how they took out all of the jokes in part two. But if
Uh,
you don't know the stage version, you might not know that.
yeah, I I watched green and pink goo uh, ooze tutorial. Uh,
Yup, yup.
yeah, I commented on one of them and I said, "Does anyone know if they have the original recipe available?" And someone responded, "That's unfortunately that's less common."
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, yeah. You're making me want to like make this my hyperfixation again.
No, okay, so like I wish I didn't work so much, which okay, I probably shouldn't word it like that.
Well, of
Uh
course. I mean,
like I like that I have the job and the hours I get and I can afford things.
yeah,
Like this is the most I've ever spent on a movie. This was like $85, which I think makes sense because it's the 85th anniversary. I don't know if that's a
yeah.
coincidence or not, but yeah. Um and even like the only reason I spent that much is because it was this, and I still flinched when I hit purchase.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
understand
but
that.
I can only afford that because of the job. But because I have the job and I work so much, I miss so much. There is. I decided I wanted to start getting into musicals again. I've only seen two in person. I saw Oklahoma, and how are we already running out of time? I saw Oklahoma, and then I saw Dear Evan Hansen, and
Oh, okay.
I was looking at Today Tix. Is that the name of the app? There
Yeah.
was I downloaded. I was looking through. There's a bunch of plays coming in town, but there's one in town right now until the end of the month, and I can't afford to go to it. But it's one I've always wanted to see, Moulin Rouge.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be honest, you're not missing much.
Oh, yeah, I listened to the soundtrack because I covered Moulin Rouge earlier this season, and I love the movie. I grew up watching it. I love it.
Yeah.
And then I saw that there was a musical. I'm like, how they turned that into a musical? And then I looked it up, and it's the same basic story structure, but they completely changed all the songs and modernized it. And
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, this is kind of better. I just wanted to see it on stage.
Yes. So if you grew up with Moulin Rouge and like you have a lot of love for it, then you probably would really enjoy the stage show. I will say I saw it I think not shortly before it closed, but when Danny Burstein was leaving, that was what it was. It was like Danny Burstein's last performance. I saw it on Broadway and I was a little bit like, where am I? Because she sings Firework, Katy Perry's Firework. And it's just so funny when like you have this very dramatic moment and the female lead goes, "Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?" It's just ridiculous. And then they had like Poker Face, I think, or Paparazzi, one of the Lady Gaga
I think
songs.
yeah, because it's like their version of the like a virgin scene in the original movie, and it was like poker face. I'm like, that's a new
Yeah,
interpretation.
it's interesting. I still had like a good time when I saw it. I enjoyed it, but I was like, oh, okay, like I'm glad somebody brought me and I didn't pay for the ticket, you know?
So what I was gonna do because like the cheapest ticket was 90 something dollars, almost $100, and I was just gonna wait and do the last minute ticket. I
Yeah.
forgot like the one of my friends who sees Broadway musicals all the time told me about. I forgot what it was called. Um, Not fast tickets. It's when you show up last minute and they
Rush
have
tickets, yeah.
rush tickets. Yeah, I was just gonna do that for $40, but then like, um, I never have time, and then when I have time, I don't have the money. So
I know, I get it.
you're like, I'm free today. I am in the negative, so I can't do that.
Yeah, I'm in the red.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hear you. I mean, I it's so funny because I feel like I have more of an appreciation for musical theater now that I'm not living in New York. Not that I could afford to go when I was living there, but you romanticize it a little bit more when it's not as
Yeah.
accessible.
Yeah, and what's funny is like Dear Evan Hansen, like to me that was exciting. That was because I listened to the soundtrack a lot. I knew all the songs, and I watched the movie and I loved it. My friend that I was talking about, who they see musicals all the time. She told me that she hated it, the movie, and I'm like, why? It was a great movie. And then I watched the play, and I'm like, oh, I see it.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
like key scenes they took out. They took all the they took out all the scenes with like the play opens with the mom with Evan Hansen's mom like singing, and then like Connor's mom singing, and they were doing like this really good song together before it gets into Evan Hansen. The movie starts with Evan Hansen's song, and then it cuts out. There's like these key scenes with like the especially the moms. They sing these songs in the musical, and they take them out of the movie.
Why?
And like there's this one scene that's they leave it in the movie. It's a song in the musical on the soundtrack, but they speak it in the movie.
Oh, that's so annoying.
And I watched it. I'm like, why would they do this? And they completely
Yeah.
changed the ending where um and I'm just like, okay, now I see it. Now I see why.
Yeah.
I even told them I'm like, I've seen the musical, and now I understand why you didn't like the movie.
Well, not for nothing, but I think making a Dear Evan Hansen movie was a little bit of a weird move. Did anybody like want that?
I think that one of the biggest complaints, even from the fans, was that Ben Platt was still playing it, and he was clearly in his 30s. He didn't because
Yeah.
like he was a high schooler in the movie in the he's playing a high schooler, but it's not like 90210 when no when they had like people in their late 20s playing it. Like okay, they're clearly an adult, but he's surrounded by actual teenagers, and he's got like wrinkles and gray hair.
What? Wait, I didn't realize that.
Well, then maybe not gray hair, but he was obviously much older than he was playing,
I
and
didn't
that
realize that the other actors were like closer to the age of the characters.
I don't know like if they were teenagers. They might have been like early 20s, but it's very obvious that he's not the same age. And it was
Yeah.
very distracting. Which funny, like, I didn't notice it the first when I was watching, I'm like, yeah, just go with it. But then I rewatched it after watching the musical, and I'm like, I can't get over this.
Yeah, sometimes there's only so much disbelief you can suspend. Yikes. Like I will say with Wicked, Michelle Yeoh, like I love her. I think she's so talented, but why did you put her in this role that is not meant for her?
So like I know everyone complains about her singing, and yeah, it's not the best, but I don't mind it so much.
In the second one I didn't mind it as much. The first one I thought it was distractingly bad. And they also like took out some of her singing in the second one. So she's supposed to have like a whole little ditty, and she doesn't do that. But I thought her acting kind of left a little bit to be desired as well. And I don't know why they split the character of Madame Morrible into what we saw Michelle Yeoh do and then Keela
Uh,
Settle.
Coddle.
Yeah, why?
Yeah,
Like,
I think they explained it because like you don't like Coddle and you're supposed to like Morrible, and if she comes off strong right away as like this unlikable character, you're like she's a villain, and so
interesting.
they split the character like that so that it's a surprise that she's a villain. Apparently in the musical it's obvious from the beginning.
Interesting. Okay. Sure. I mean, I'll buy it. It's just it felt unearned.
There is an Easter egg that I didn't notice till somebody on one of the groups pointed it out. And Madame Coddle, one of the few lines she has, she said something about like she I don't remember the context, but she uses the word gulch with Alphaba.
Yes, yes. Just
Like
a slight gulch. Yeah.
yeah, there's a slight gulch, and that's like
Yeah, I think I caught that in the second time I watched it because it went so quickly the first time I
yeah, I
didn't. But
never
then the
caught.
second time I was like,
I had
oh,
already seen it 5 times. I never caught it, and it was like halfway, like beginning of this year. Someone said it on. Did anybody notice that the Madame Coddle says Gulch? I'm like,
yeah, that's really funny.
I think it said one time in For Good. It like went by really quick. I was like,
Oh, yeah, I probably didn't catch it that time because I feel like the first one had a lot more, I don't know, references, Easter eggs, homages, like whatever you want to say.
yeah, they were saying something before For Good came out. They said that expect more surprise cameos. I didn't notice any. I was like, oh, Gregory's going to be in this one, and then like
Mm,
there because like in the first one, there was cameos galore, but like the main ones being Adina and Kristen when they came out.
yeah.
I even went like Leo in that movie, but like there was nothing that made me go, they're in this.
Yes,
I think it was only
yes.
one time I heard the audience go, I'm like, I don't know who that is. But
Right,
like,
right.
yeah,
No, I totally agree. Yeah, I can't even think. I mean, again, for having only seen it once in the theater and seeing the first one 5 times,
yeah,
like,
and it's like, and then like some of the cameos, and like I think someone said it was like, oh, she was like the third Alphaba on the West End version. I'm like, who is that?
yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean,
no,
like
she played
14-year-old me would have known,
yeah.
but
Oh, we have less than a minute. I'm gonna stop this one and come back in.
okay,
All right, and then we'll do like the third and final part.
perfect.
And we're back. So,
Happy to be back.
yes, happy to still have you here. You haven't bailed on me. Yeah, we've been talking about your TikTok and stuff for a while, off and on, and I see, you've told me yourself, and I've seen, you do a lot of interesting projects. Like I shared one of my, I don't know if you saw, I shared one of my story this morning. It was the guy was in a coma. Like, wake up, you need to wake up.
Oh, yes.
And that was hilarious. I did not expect that ending.
Yeah, my friend Gareth and I do these sketches together, and so many of them are his idea, so I don't like want to take credit, but I thought this was hilarious, and he like really knocked it out of the park, and I was just glad to be a part of it. So definitely look out for more of those because Gareth and I are like trying to, build up as much as we can.
I also spoiled the ending for the people that want to go look for that. So.
It's okay. It's a 1 minute thing.
Yeah. And so, but like you also have told me about other projects that you've done. Is there anything you want to promote that you've got upcoming that you can talk about?
I would love to. I'm actually in the middle right now of editing my original comedy pilot. It's called Crossfire and the Diva, and I'm really excited to put it out. I think I'm going to premiere it January 10th. That's a tentative date, but it will be in January, full stop. It's such a passion project, and I went a little bit broke making it, so I really need people to watch it.
Yeah, I know that like last time we talked like this, you said you had some projects that you couldn't talk about yet, and I saw that you posted on your story the other day that y'all wrapped filming, and what was that?
That was my latest vertical. I can't even remember the name of it right
So
now.
you do so
Oh,
many of them.
I know, and they all blend together. But this one is my first non-villain role, and it's going to be amazing. And that should also be coming out at the end of January on a platform called Flare Flow. And while I'm thinking of it, if you guys ever want to play bingo with me live, I host bingo several times a week on an app called Live Play Bingo. And you can see my schedule, like when I'm going to be on. And it's really fun. I usually do an hour or two at a time. And you don't win any real money, but it's just for the heck of it, just for fun.
I remember when you did your first vertical and we were all excited, and I was like, I don't know if I should be worried that you're really good at this villainous role. I think that's all you've played. I'm like, I don't know if I should be concerned for you.
Oh, I know. You and me both. I know.
Like, that's
But
not you in
hopefully,
person.
thank you. Hopefully, a few softer roles in the new year to come, even if I have to write them myself.
Well, it's kind of funny is like the nicest people play the best villains. Like apparently Tom Felton's like the nicest person ever, but
I've heard that.
all he ever gets are villainous roles.
That's so funny. I wonder. Oh, I would love to see him play Malfoy live. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I said he was. I think he's going to. I think
He already is. I don't know when
he
he
is.
leaves, but he's already in it. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I saw like he was they were interviewing Daniel Radcliffe and they were like because like they I see so much it all kind of blurs together. They were interviewing Daniel Radcliffe and they had like a video message for him from and then Tom Felton actually called him Potter and he even did like the emphasis on the P like hello Potter.
Oh, I love it. I love
And
it.
it's like they still have that banter back and forth, and like they're best friends, but they still like treat each other like jokingly act like enemies, and it's funny seeing them interact.
It's for the fans. I love it. I love it. Ugh, well, thank you so much. I do have to go to work. Ugh, what a drag. But
Yeah.
this has been truly the highlight of like my week.
Yeah, I was like really excited about this. Like whenever you agreed, I was like, I figured you would because it's when I said Wicked, I figured you're like I didn't even did you even finish reading the message?
Yeah, no, exactly. You know when they talk to Ariana and she's like, "It's wicked, it's sacred." I was like the exact same way. I was like, "Yes, if Trevor's inviting me to speak about Wicked, like I will be there."
Yeah, like I sent you a wall of text like explaining my thoughts and like what I was wanting to do, and I'm like probably could it's been like I have an episode coming out on Wicked. Are you in?
Yes,
And
exactly.
it's like
Exactly. You can always do that with me.
part of me was thinking yeah, she's already been on 2 episodes. I'm probably tiring her, but like I don't.
No, no. I listen, one thing about me is I love to yap, so
And
happy to be
that's why
here.
we're so close.
That's why we are two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
Oh, this has been wonderful. I will be riding the high of this for the rest of my day.
Actually it means more that you're saying this now. Like this is the highlight of your week, considering yesterday was Christmas.
I know. I mean, other than like this little cat in the corner here being the highlight of my life, this was really fun and like it was such a quiet holiday week that this was a nice way to kind of like wind down.
It didn't
So
even feel like Christmas. Like everyone's like, "Can you
I know.
believe it's Christmas?" I'm like, "Is that today?"
I know. I can't believe it either. I know, but we also say that every year, so I'm kind of like, okay, holidays just don't feel like holidays
The
anymore.
only reason I even realized it was that time of the year is because San Francisco was all decked out in lights.
Yes,
There
yes,
was like
exactly.
New York has like the Rockefeller Center tree. San Francisco has like six of those all spread out. Like I
Oh
turn the
my,
corner and there's one at Metreon. There's one at Union Square.
yeah.
There's like I passed like five more and I'm like, okay, it's not that special when you have them all over town.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
at like Fisherman's Wharf. I'm like, come on.
Oh, I want to go up there. I've the closest I've gotten to Fisherman's Wharf is in Disney's California Adventure. Back when it was like regular San Francisco or the Bay Area or something, and now it's San Francisco. Am I speaking another language to you? Like,
I've never yeah, I've never. Oh yeah, San Francisco. That's from Big Hero 6.
yes,
It took me a
exactly. And
second. I'm
I've
like,
never
that
seen that
sounds
movie.
familiar.
Yeah, yeah, but they definitely had like a whole Fisherman's Wharf vibe, and then I guess they just kind of like consolidated it for Big Hero 6, but
Uh,
because it
yeah,
was a celebration of California.
you need to come here, and then we hang out, and I'll be your tour guide.
I would love that. I would love that. And I'll ride the big wheel.
Oh,
I'm nervous though.
no, it's fine. I'll go with you.
Yay! Oh, thank you so, so much, my friend. And we will talk soon. I can't wait to see this episode go live.
Yeah, you don't have to wait as long as last time.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably forgot about last time. Like, why are you tagging me in this story?
No, I love it. I love it. Because it's like a Christmas gift in itself. Like, oh yeah, wait, okay.
Two besties talking.
Okay, well, thank you so, so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to peace out, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Mwah.
The Rambler Network.